The discovery. The desert of Arcani stretched endlessly, its golden sands rippling like an ocean under the hot sun. Few dared to venture into its harsh expanse, for storms could rise without warning, swallowing travelers in a swirl of dust and wind. But Commander Vera Salin and her team were not ordinary travelers. They were explorers, scientists, and historians, driven by a singular purpose: to uncover the secrets of a lost civilization rumored to have vanished thousands of years ago. Vera, tall and sharp-eyed, rode at the front of the convoy, her black cloak flapping in the dry wind. Her second-in-command, Cale Arden, a lean man with a thoughtful gaze, followed closely behind, scanning the horizon with a portable sensor. Behind them were their specialized team members: Mira Thal, the geologist who could read the language of rocks; Joran Kest, an engineer who could make machines dance to his will; and Lyra Voss, a historian with a memory like a living encyclopedia. 4 months, they had followed the faintest clues: ancient star charts, fragmented maps, and legends passed down through generations. Many believed the lost civilization of Arcanis had left nothing behind, but Vera had a gut feeling otherwise. She believed the ruins were real and that the desert was hiding them like a secret waiting to be told. As the team approached the coordinates marked on their oldest map, the desert began to change. The sand grew darker, almost black, and jagged rock formations appeared where none had been before. Mira knelt and ran her hands over the stones. "These rocks, they aren't natural," she said. "Someone shaped them long ago. Someone who understood geometry, architecture, maybe even engineering beyond our time." Cale crouched beside her, holding the sensor over the ground. "The readings are off the charts," he said. "I've never seen energy traces like this. It's like the ground itself is alive." Vera tightened her grip on her staff, a tool of both guidance and protection. "Keep your eyes open. We're close." Suddenly Lyra let out a soft gasp. "Look," she cried. Beneath a dune, partially buried in sand, rose a structure unlike anything they had imagined. Towering and rectangular, it was made of dark stone that shimmered faintly under the sunlight. Carvings ran along its surface, depicting people, strange creatures, and symbols that seemed almost alive. The team dismounted and approached cautiously. Vera reached out, brushing away the sand with her gloved hand. The stone beneath was smooth, cool, and strangely resonant. When she touched it, a vibration ran through her arm, almost like the stone was breathing. Cale frowned. "Are you feeling that? It's pulsing." The carvings were intricate, telling a story in pictures. Vera traced the lines with her fingers, trying to decipher their meaning. Scenes of towering cities, flying ships, and glowing energy spheres seemed to leap from the stone. And then, in the center of the structure, was a massive stone door, taller than any human, engraved with a symbol resembling an eye surrounded by spirals. Mira stepped closer, eyes wide. This is incredible. Whoever built this was not like us. Their technology, their art, it's beyond anything we've ever seen." Vera knelt and brushed more sand away from the base of the door. Her heart skipped a beat. There, faint but unmistakable, was a line of ancient script. It wasn't like any human language she knew. The symbols seemed to shimmer, shifting slightly as if alive. Then something strange happened. A whisper, faint but clear, floated on the desert wind. "Elisera." Vera froze. "Did anyone hear that?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Cale shook his head. "It's just the wind." "No," Vera said, her eyes narrowing. "It said a name. Elisera." The team exchanged uneasy glances. Lyra stepped forward, examining the door more closely. "That name, it's not on any of our maps. I've never seen it before. Could it be the name of someone who built this place?" Vera studied the carvings again. "Perhaps. Or maybe someone important who lived here long ago. Either way, the name has significance. We need to document everything." As the sun sank lower in the sky, the desert shadows grew longer, stretching across the stone like dark fingers. The team worked quickly, taking photographs, scanning the carvings, and mapping the area. Yet, despite their focus, the whisper returned, soft and persistent. "Elisera. Elisera." Mira shivered. "It's like the stone is calling out. I've never felt anything like this. It's almost alive." Vera nodded, feeling a strange pull toward the door. She laid her palm flat against the stone again. The hum grew stronger, vibrating through her bones. She closed her eyes and for a moment the desert disappeared. In her mind she saw a city of golden towers, bridges of light, and people moving with grace and purpose. And standing at the center was a girl with violet eyes, staring directly at her. "Elisera." The vision vanished as suddenly as it had appeared. Vera opened her eyes, heart pounding. "This is more than a tomb," she whispered. "It's a message. Someone, or something wants us to find this place." Kale shook his head, trying to clear his thoughts. "Or maybe it's just a warning. This could be dangerous." Vera turned to her team. "Yes, it could be. But we didn't come this far to turn back. Tomorrow we explore inside. We find out who Elisera was, and what this civilization was capable of. Whatever it takes, we uncover their secrets." As night fell, the team set up a perimeter around the tomb. The desert grew quiet, except for the soft, eerie whisper that now seemed to echo through the air, bouncing off the rocks and dunes. "Elisera. Elisera." Vera sat by the campfire, staring at the stone door. She felt a mixture of awe and unease. This discovery could change history. It could reveal technology, knowledge, and truths that humanity had never dreamed of. Yet, she knew one thing for certain. The stone had chosen them, or at least called to them. And when a stone calls, one must answer. For the first time in her life, Vera felt like she was standing on the edge of something truly monumental. A civilization lost to time, a girl named Elisera, and a tomb that held secrets beyond imagination, all waiting for them. And as the desert night deepened, the whispers continued, faint but insistent, "Elisera." Vera smiled slightly, determination shining in her eyes. "We're coming," she whispered back. The adventure had only just begun. The stone speaks. The desert night on Arcanis was silent, except for the soft whispers that floated through the air. Around the campfire, the team sat in tense silence, each member lost in thought. The hum from the massive stone door seemed to grow louder as darkness fell, filling the air with a vibration that resonated deep in their bones. Commander Vera Solon stared at the door, her mind racing. The name Elisera echoed in her thoughts. Who was she? And why did the stone call only to her? Kale Arden, sensing her unease, nudged her gently. "You okay, Commander?" he asked. Vera shook her head slowly. "I don't know, it feels like the stone is alive. Like it's trying to tell us something." Mira Thal, the geologist, glanced nervously at the dark outline of the tomb. "I've worked with ancient ruins before, but this is different. The energy here, it's not natural. I can feel it in my bones." Joran Kest, always the skeptic, scoffed lightly. "Energy? Bones? You sound like you're talking about ghosts. It's just a big rock. That's all." Vera didn't respond. She had learned long ago that Joran's disbelief was part of his charm, and part of his caution. Still, she knew in her gut that he was wrong. This was not an ordinary tomb. Something extraordinary lay within. As the night deepened, the whispers grew louder. This time, it was more than just a soft echo carried by the wind. The voice was clear, melodic, and urgent. "Elisera. Elisera." Vera's heart raced. She stepped closer to the stone door, letting her palm hover above the carvings. The symbols seemed to shimmer under her touch, faint lines of light tracing along the surface. The energy pulsed stronger now, almost like it was breathing, like it had a heartbeat of its own. Suddenly the voice changed, no longer just a whisper. It was a song, low and haunting, yet beautiful. Words began to form in her mind without sound. I waited for one who can hear. One who can carry the knowledge forward. The time has come. Elisera's legacy must awaken." Vera staggered back, breathless. "Did anyone else hear that?" she asked, her voice trembling slightly. Kale stepped forward, scanning the air with his sensor. The readings were off the charts, waves of energy unlike anything they had seen before. "It's not a sound wave," he said. "It's like consciousness. The stone itself is thinking. It's alive." Lyra Voss, the historian, knelt to examine the carvings. "I've seen carvings preserve history before, but nothing like this. The lines seem to move when you look at them, almost like they are recording something. Or maybe speaking." Mira nodded slowly, her hands trembling. "I think the stone is calling Elisera for a reason. Someone, or something wants her remembered. Or maybe, wants her found." Vera's eyes narrowed. She felt the pull stronger now, drawing her closer to the stone. Memories, strange and vivid, flooded her mind. A city of golden towers shining under twin suns. People walking gracefully through streets of glowing stones. Ships that floated above the ground, powered by unseen forces. And standing at the heart of it all, a young woman with violet eyes, Elisera. The vision was fleeting, but the feeling lingered, a mix of awe and fear, as if the civilization itself was alive in that moment. Joran crossed his arms, frowning. "Okay, that's enough. I don't care what your vision is. It's a hallucination from heat and exhaustion. Vera shook her head. It's not a hallucination, Joran. The stone, it's sending me something. Messages, memories. It wants us to know, it wants us to act. Kale studied the door intently. If what you say is true, this could be the greatest discovery in human history. But we need to be careful. If the energy here is this strong, we don't know what else might be inside. It could be dangerous. Lyra stood, brushing sand from her robes. Dangerous or not, we cannot turn away. If Elisra's knowledge is here, we have a responsibility to find it. Her civilization could teach us things we never dreamed possible. Vera took a deep breath, steadying herself. Then it settled. Tomorrow we enter. Tonight we observe and prepare. We need to understand what we're dealing with before we risk stepping inside. As the team settled in for the night, Vera stayed by the stone door, unable to sleep. She pressed her hand against the carvings again. The energy pulsed stronger than ever. The whisper came again, but this time, it spoke more clearly, almost like a voice inside her mind. The time has come. Find me. Preserve the knowledge. The world must remember Elisra. A chill ran down Vera's spine. She stepped back, staring at the dark outline of the massive door. The desert night seemed alive, the stars twinkling with a strange intensity. She felt a connection, an unexplainable bond with the stone, with Elisra, with the civilization that had vanished long ago. Mira approached her quietly. Commander, are you sure we're ready for this? Vera looked at her team, their faces lit by the soft glow of the fire. We have to be. This isn't just a tomb. It's a message. And Elisra, she's counting on us. The desert wind picked up, sweeping across the dunes. And from within the stone, the whisper rose once more, clear and persistent. Elisra. Elisra, awaken. Vera's fingers brushed the carvings again. This time the pulse was stronger, almost like a heartbeat. She could feel the energy moving through her, filling her with both fear and determination. The tomb was waiting. And so was Elisra. As the first light of dawn touched the desert, painting the sands in soft gold and pink, Vera turned to her team. Today we step into history, she said firmly. Today we uncover the secrets of a civilization lost to time. And we answer the call of Elisra. The explorers prepared their equipment, their hearts racing with excitement and apprehension. The desert stretched before them, silent but alive, holding secrets that had waited millennia to be revealed. And deep within the stone, a voice whispered once more, almost like a promise, Elisra is waiting. The adventure had grown deeper, more dangerous, and more mysterious. The stone spoke. And tomorrow they would answer. The tomb opens. The first rays of sunlight stretched across the desert, turning the sand into waves of gold. Commander Vera Salin and her team gathered around the massive stone door, their hearts pounding with anticipation. The desert was silent, as if holding its breath for what was about to unfold. Cale Arden checked the scanners one last time. Energy readings are off the charts, he said, voice tight. Whatever is inside, it's powerful. We should proceed carefully. Vera nodded, her fingers brushing over the carvings. The symbols seemed to shimmer faintly under the morning sun, lines of light shifting almost like living veins of energy. I feel it, she whispered. The stone, it's alive. It's waiting for us to enter. Mira Thal leaned closer, her eyes wide with awe. I've studied ancient ruins all over the galaxy, but I've never seen anything like this. Whoever built this, they weren't human, at least not like us. Their understanding of energy, it's beyond anything we know. Joran Kest muttered under his breath. I still don't like it. Things this old, this powerful, they're never meant to be touched. Vera ignored him. She had felt the pull too strongly to back away. Taking a deep breath, she stepped forward, placing her palm flat against the smooth stone surface. Immediately, a hum ran through her arm, spreading through her chest and up into her head. The vibration was rhythmic like a heartbeat. Then the whisper came again, clear and commanding, Elisra, come. Vera's eyes widened. It's calling again. We have to open it. Cale hesitated. Commander, how? It's just a massive stone door. No handles, no levers, nothing. Vera's gaze scanned the carvings. Then she noticed subtle indentations forming a pattern along the edge of the door. Symbols that matched the lines in the sand and the carvings on the tomb walls. Here, she said. These markings, they're keys. The door responds to them. Mira studied the lines. It's like a puzzle, but a very advanced one. Whoever made this, they knew only the right mind could unlock it. Vera pressed her fingers along the first indentation. The stone glowed faintly under her touch. She moved to the next symbol, then the next. The hum grew louder, pulsing like a living rhythm. Finally she touched the last mark. The ground beneath them vibrated slightly. Then, with a sound like grinding mountains, the massive stone door began to move. Slowly at first, then faster, until it creaked open, revealing a dark passage beyond. A faint glow seeped from the opening, illuminating the intricate carvings inside the tomb. The team stared in awe. The interior was unlike anything they had imagined. Walls lined with strange symbols that seemed to shift when viewed from different angles. Pillars of polished stone that hummed faintly with energy. And in the center, a circular chamber bathed in a soft, blue light. Vera stepped forward cautiously. "Stay close," she said, her voice steady but low. "We don't know what's waiting for us inside." Kale activated his portable lights, sweeping them across the chamber. The symbols glowed in response, almost as if the stone itself were alive. Mira reached out to touch a pillar, and it pulsed under her hand. "This energy, it's like nothing I've ever seen. It's sentient." As they moved deeper, the whispers grew louder. But now, it was not just a single voice, it was a chorus speaking in a language older than human memory. Yet somehow Vera understood it. Words formed in her mind without sound. "You have come. Elisera waits. Only those who hear the call may proceed." The team exchanged uneasy glances. Lyra Voss spoke first, her voice barely a whisper. "It's like the tomb is alive. It's protecting itself. Or testing us." Vera nodded. "I think it's both. Elisera's civilization must have created this to safeguard their knowledge. Only someone worthy, someone who can understand, may enter fully." They reached the central chamber. The glow from the walls revealed a pedestal carved from the same dark stone as the door. Upon it rested a smooth crystal orb humming softly with energy. The orb's surface shimmered, reflecting images that flickered and shifted like memories: golden towers, flying ships, people walking gracefully through luminous streets. And there, in every vision, stood a young woman with violet eyes, Elisera. Mira gasped. That's her. That must be Elisera. The tomb, it's preserving her memory. Or her essence." Vera stepped closer, feeling the energy pulse through her. She reached out and touched the orb. Instantly, the visions became sharper. Scenes of battles, inventions, and cities under twin suns flashed before her eyes. She could feel Elisera's presence, intelligent and alive, guiding her. Then a voice filled the chamber, clear and commanding. "You have come. I have waited for one who can hear. One who can carry my knowledge forward. The time has come." The team froze. None of them had heard a voice like this before, not mechanical, not human, not alien. It was Elisera herself, preserved within the stone for millennia. Her essence had survived, waiting for explorers who could awaken her. Kale stepped back awestruck. This is impossible. She's alive. Somehow she's alive within the stone." Vera nodded, her hand still on the orb. "She is real. And she's asking for our help. We are the ones who can carry her civilization forward." Myra's eyes were wide with excitement and fear. Think of what she knows, the technology, the knowledge. This could change everything for humanity. Joran finally spoke, voice shaking. "Change everything, or destroy everything. We don't even know what we're dealing with." Vera turned to her team, determination burning in her eyes. "We will be careful. But we cannot ignore this. Elisera trusted us to find her, to learn from her people, to preserve their legacy. And that is what we will do." The chamber pulsed with energy as if responding to her words. The orb glowed brighter, casting shadows that danced across the walls. The carvings seemed to ripple, alive with motion. The tomb was no longer just a resting place. It was a living archive, a bridge between a lost civilization and the humans standing before it. The explorers knew that stepping further into the tomb would be dangerous. Unknown defenses, ancient machines, and secrets beyond their understanding awaited. But they also knew that turning back was not an option. The tomb had chosen them. Elisera had chosen them. Vera took a deep breath and turned to her team. "We enter as one," she said firmly. "We uncover the secrets of Elisera and her people. And we make sure their knowledge lives on." The team advanced together, stepping into the heart of the tomb. The stone pulsed under their feet, the whispers now a steady song of guidance. And somewhere deep within, Elisera's essence stirred, ready to awaken fully, ready to reveal the wisdom of a civilization lost to time. The adventure had passed the threshold of discovery. The tomb had opened, and the story of Elisera was about to unfold. The awakening. The air inside the tomb shimmered with an energy that made every hair on Vera Salin's arms stand on end. The team moved cautiously, their eyes wide with wonder and apprehension. The walls, carved with strange symbols, seemed to ripple under the glow of the crystal orb that had guided them into the heart of the tomb. Every step they took was echoed by a soft hum, as if the stone itself was aware of their presence. Cale Arden's hands shook slightly as he held up his scanning device. "Commander, the readings, they're off the charts. I've never seen anything like this. It's alive. The tomb itself is alive." Vera nodded. "Yes, and it's waiting for something, or someone. I can feel it." The central chamber stretched out before them, circular and impossibly vast, filled with a soft blue light. At the center stood the pedestal, the crystal orb glowing brighter than ever. As they approached, the hum of the tomb intensified, forming a rhythmic pulse, almost like a heartbeat. Then it happened. The orb began to shift, forming a figure, a luminous woman standing tall and radiant. Her hair shimmered like strands of violet light, and her eyes glowed with a piercing intensity. Elisera had awakened. The team froze in awe. Mira whispered, She's real. Somehow, she survived, preserved in this stone." Elisera's gaze swept over them, calm yet commanding. "You have come," she said, her voice resonating in their minds more than in the air. "I have waited for one who could hear me, one who could understand the knowledge I carry. You are those who will continue what was lost." Vera swallowed hard. "We were honored, but we don't fully understand. Who are you? How are you here?" Elisera's eyes glowed brighter, and for a moment, the chamber filled with images of a long-lost city. Golden towers stretched into the sky, vehicles floated above the streets, and people moved gracefully, manipulating glowing energy fields. "I am Elisera of Arcanis," she said. "My civilization was advanced beyond imagination, yet we fell because we failed to protect our knowledge. I preserved my essence within this tomb, waiting for those who could hear the call and ensure that what we created would not be lost forever." Cale whispered, awestruck, "This is incredible. You're more than history. You're alive, in a sense." Elisera nodded. "Alive, yes, but not in the way humans understand. I exist within this crystal, within the energy of the tomb. I am here to guide those who come, to share what I know, and to protect the legacy of my people." Mira stepped forward, her voice trembling with excitement. "The technology, the knowledge, what can you teach us?" Elisera raised a hand, and the images in the chamber shifted to show detailed schematics of energy cores, transportation systems, and city designs powered by renewable, limitless energy. "We harnessed energy directly from planetary cores, created cities that sustain themselves, and developed technology that advanced society without destruction. But we also faced great dangers, both external and internal. Greed, war, and misuse of knowledge led to our fall. That is why I am here, to ensure that humanity does not repeat our mistakes." Vera felt a shiver of awe and fear. This could change everything for humanity. But, the dangers? What dangers are still here? Elisera's gaze darkened slightly. Even in preservation, defenses remain. The tomb is protected against intrusion, against those who would take knowledge for selfish purposes. You are safe only because you came with respect and intent. Any who come with greed or malice will trigger the tomb's defenses. Joran, still skeptical but now visibly shaken, muttered, "So, the tomb, it chooses who's worthy?" "Yes," Elisera replied. "And you have been chosen. But your journey is only beginning. The knowledge I hold is vast, and you must prove yourselves capable of understanding and safeguarding it. Only then will humanity be ready for what lies beyond these walls." Vera glanced at her team, determination blazing in her eyes. "We accept this responsibility. We will learn. We will protect. And we will ensure your civilization's knowledge survives." Elisera's form shimmered, her presence radiating warmth and authority. "Good. Then I will teach you. I will guide you. Together we will awaken the legacy of Arcanis." The chamber pulsed with energy as Elisera extended her hand. Streams of light flowed into the explorers, filling them with visions and understanding. They saw cities rising from barren lands, machines that bent the rules of physics, and people who worked in harmony with energy itself. They felt the intelligence and wisdom of a civilization that had thrived for millennia and yet vanished too soon. Myra's eyes sparkled with excitement. "I can feel it, the science, the energy, it's all here, flowing into me." Cale's voice shook as he added, "The possibilities, the inventions, the knowledge, this is more than we ever imagined." Vera's hand still rested on the orb. We must be careful. This knowledge is powerful. And if misused, she trailed off, feeling the weight of responsibility pressing down on her. Elisara's eyes softened. That is why I need you, Vera. Humans have the potential to use knowledge for creation or destruction. You will be the guardians, the learners, the protectors. You must carry my civilization forward, wisely and responsibly. The team felt a bond forming, not only with each other but with Elisara herself. She was no longer just a memory preserved in stone, she was their guide, their teacher, their link to a civilization that had defied time. The tomb around them hummed with energy, alive with anticipation. Elisara's essence glowed brighter, her voice echoing in their minds. The awakening has begun. Knowledge is now in your hands. Guard it well, for the future depends on it. Vera stepped back, taking a deep breath. She turned to her team. We've entered a new chapter, for humanity and for Elisara's civilization. The path ahead will be dangerous, but it is also filled with wonder. We are ready. The chamber pulsed one final time, and Elisara's form began to shimmer, integrating fully with the tomb's energy. She was awake, her essence alive, and the knowledge of Arcanis was now theirs to explore, understand, and protect. The adventure had truly begun. Elisara had awakened. And with her guidance, humanity would take its first steps into a legacy that had waited millennia to be rediscovered. Secrets of the Lost Civilization. The glow from the crystal orb filled the chamber as Elisara's essence shimmered around the explorers. Commander Vera Salin and her team stood in awe, absorbing the presence of a civilization that had thrived thousands of years before humans ever walked the stars. The air itself seemed alive, vibrating with energy that made every heartbeat feel faster, every thought sharper. Elisara extended her hand, and the walls of the tomb began to shift, revealing hidden chambers filled with artifacts, tools, and devices unlike anything the team had ever seen. These are the secrets of my people, she said, her voice calm but commanding. For generations we advanced beyond what humans now know. Our cities were powered by energy drawn from the planet itself. We mastered what you call science and magic, blending them seamlessly. Yet, we failed to protect ourselves, and that is why we hid our knowledge. Mirathal's eyes were wide as she examined a floating energy cube hovering above a pedestal. It's incredible. It's like it's alive, responding to movement and thought. Elisara nodded. Our technology was designed to be intuitive, to respond to intelligence and intention. It was never meant to be misused. That is why only those who can hear the call may enter and learn. Cale Arden walked carefully through the chamber, running his hands over a series of intricate devices. Commander, this is beyond anything humanity has ever seen. These machines, they can manipulate energy, matter, even the environment itself. Elisara's essence glimmered. Yes, our civilization learned to harness the power of planets. We created self-sustaining cities, capable of feeding and sheltering millions. We developed machines that could heal the environment, purify water, and generate limitless energy. But with knowledge comes responsibility. Misuse led to our downfall. Vera stepped closer, feeling the energy in the room thrumming through her body. Then we have a duty, she said quietly. We must ensure this knowledge survives and is used wisely. Humanity could benefit, or destroy itself if we fail. Elisara's form shimmered with approval. You understand. That is why I have chosen you. I will guide you, teach you, and reveal the knowledge of Arcanis. But you must be patient. Comprehending these secrets takes time, focus, and wisdom. Lyra Voss moved forward, examining a holographic map that projected the layout of the lost cities. These designs, they are brilliant. The cities were organized not only for efficiency but for harmony with nature and energy. Everything has a purpose, every structure connected to the flow of power. Elisara smiled faintly. We believed in balance. Our civilization thrived because we respected the energy that sustains life. But greed and misuse led to our downfall. That is why this knowledge was hidden, to protect it until those worthy could learn. Mira pointed to a spherical device emitting soft light. Commander, look at this. It responds to touch. It changes shape and energy output depending on what you do. Elisara's voice echoed, calm and instructive. That is one of our energy regulators. It can stabilize planetary cores, redirect power, and generate clean energy for entire cities. It requires intelligence, intent, and responsibility to operate. Humans have the potential to use such devices, but without understanding, it could be catastrophic. Vera stepped closer, placing her hand over the device. Energy flowed through her, warm and alive, almost like a pulse of the planet itself. It's incredible, she whispered. I can feel the power, the knowledge, it's like it's alive. Elisara's gaze softened. It is alive. Energy is the essence of life itself. We learn to respect it, not dominate it. That is the most important lesson of my civilization. Power without responsibility destroys everything. Kale frowned, still cautious. And yet, if this knowledge falls into the wrong hands. Elisara's eyes darkened slightly. That is why I have chosen you. You came with intent, with respect, and with courage. Others would trigger the defenses and they would never leave. Knowledge is not just about learning, it is about character. Only the worthy may carry it forward. Vera nodded firmly. We understand. We will protect it. And we will use it to help humanity, not harm it. The chamber shifted again, revealing a smaller room filled with crystalline devices, glowing orbs and intricate mechanisms. Elisara gestured toward them. These are the core systems of our civilization. They store energy, knowledge, and history. They can teach, heal, and protect. But they can also destroy if handled recklessly. You must study them carefully and respect their power. Mira knelt beside a glowing orb. Commander, it's like it's showing me how to generate energy, how to manipulate it safely. Vera smiled, a mixture of excitement and awe on her face. Then we are learning. Elisara, show us everything. Teach us how to protect this knowledge and use it wisely. Elisara's essence shimmered brighter. I will. You are the first humans to truly hear my call, to understand the responsibility of our knowledge. Together we will unlock the secrets of Arcanis, rebuild what was lost, and guide humanity toward a future where energy, technology, and wisdom coexist in balance. The team spent hours exploring the chamber, absorbing the knowledge that Elisara shared. They touched devices that could generate energy from planetary cores, studied holographic projections of cities built in harmony with nature, and learned about machines that could purify entire ecosystems. Every discovery filled them with awe and a sense of responsibility that weighed heavily on their shoulders. As night fell again over the desert of Arcanis, the explorers gathered in the central chamber, reflecting on the magnitude of what they had learned. Elisara's presence pulsed softly around them, a gentle reminder of the legacy they now carried. Vera placed her hand on the crystal orb, feeling the energy hum beneath her fingers. This is more than discovery, she said softly. It's a responsibility, a promise. We will honor Elisara and her civilization. We will protect their knowledge and use it to guide humanity. Elisara's voice echoed, calm and full of warmth. You have understood the first lesson. Knowledge is power, yes, but it is also duty. Use it wisely and humanity may thrive. Misuse it and the consequences will be severe. Guard it, protect it, and learn. The explorers nodded in unison. They knew their journey had only just begun. The secrets of Arcanis were vast, and their understanding would grow with every step they took. Elisara's civilization had been lost for millennia, but through them, it would live again. And somewhere deep within the tomb, the crystal orb pulsed with life, echoing the promise of a legacy that had waited centuries to awaken. The adventure was far from over. The secrets of the lost civilization were now in their hands, and the responsibility of safeguarding them weighed as heavily as the desert sands surrounding them. The threat awakens. The tomb had grown quiet after hours of study, the soft hum of energy now steady and calm. Commander Vera Salin and her team had begun to understand a fraction of the knowledge Elisara's civilization had preserved, yet none of them felt fully prepared for what lay ahead. The deeper they ventured into the tomb, the more they sensed that the structure was alive, not only as a repository of knowledge but as a guardian. Cale Arden was the first to notice it. His scanner suddenly beeped wildly, red lights flashing across the device. Commander. Energy spikes, something's activating. Vera's heart skipped a beat. Where? All around us, Cale said, his voice tense. The tomb, it's reacting to our presence. I think we triggered a defense system. Mirathal stepped back, eyes wide. Defense system? But Elisara said this place is safe for us. Vera's gaze scanned the chamber. It's safe for us, but maybe not for intruders. We need to stay alert. Move carefully. Suddenly, the walls of the chamber began to shift. Panels slid apart, revealing hidden turrets with glowing cores. Small drones, shaped like metallic insects, emerged from hidden crevices. They hovered, scanning the explorers, their lights red and menacing. Joran Kest cursed under his breath. I knew it. I told you this place isn't just a tomb. It's a trap. Vera raised her hand. Stay calm. Elisara, what's happening? The luminous form of Elisara shimmered before them. Her voice was calm but urgent. The tomb's defenses are awakening. They detect energy signatures and intent. They react to any threat to the knowledge preserved here. You are safe if you follow my guidance. Do not harm the systems, they are part of my people's legacy. Kale activated his scanner, trying to find a way to neutralize the turrets. They're too advanced. Their programming, it's adaptive. Every move we make they respond. Vera took a deep breath. Then we follow Elisara's lead. She knows the tomb better than anyone. Elisara extended her hand. Light streamed from her fingertips, connecting to the tomb's energy network. The turrets and drones paused, their red lights flickering. You must move with purpose and understanding, she said. The defenses are intelligent. They will test you, but they will not harm you if you act with care and respect. The team moved cautiously, following her guidance. Each step was calculated. The floor beneath them glowed in response to their movements, forming a path that led deeper into the tomb. The turrets swiveled but did not fire, the drones hovered uncertainly as if awaiting permission. Suddenly one of the drones lunged at Kale. He barely dodged it, rolling to the side. It's learning, he shouted. It's adapting faster than we can react. Vera's voice rang out, steady and commanding. Focus. Elisara, guide us. The energy from Elisara's essence flowed into the chamber, connecting with each member of the team. They felt her knowledge of the tomb, her understanding of its defenses, guiding their reflexes. Kale recalibrated the scanner mid-step, disabling a turret just as it prepared to fire. Mira manipulated the glowing energy paths on the floor, creating safe zones for the group to advance. Joran gritted his teeth but followed instructions, feeling a strange connection to the tomb as if it were alive and responding to his actions. Lyra, though frightened, kept track of the symbols on the walls, decoding instructions that only someone attuned to Elisara's knowledge could understand. The chamber shook violently. The walls moved again, shifting to block their path. From the ceiling, energy beams shot down in intricate patterns. The team had to jump, duck and weave, relying on Elisara's guidance to survive. This is insane. Mira shouted, narrowly avoiding a beam. It's like the tomb is alive, like it's testing us. Elisara's voice echoed in Vera's mind. It is alive. It tests, it protects, it guides. You must show understanding, intelligence, and courage. Only then will you advance. Vera took a deep breath, moving forward with purpose. We can do this. Trust Elisara. Trust each other. They pressed onward, reaching a corridor lined with more glowing symbols. Here, the tomb's defenses were subtler. Hidden traps that could crush, energy fields that could incinerate, and puzzles that required precise coordination. Every action mattered. Every mistake could trigger disaster. Kale whispered, we have to synchronize everything. One wrong move and... Vera nodded, cutting him off. We move as one. Everyone follow the energy. Follow Elisara. We survive together. The team advanced carefully, solving each puzzle, avoiding traps and neutralizing defenses without destroying them. The tomb seemed to respond positively, pulsing in rhythm with their movements. The drones hovered silently, no longer aggressive, and the turrets powered down as if approving their progress. Finally, they reached a massive chamber deeper within the tomb. It was vast, filled with energy conduits that pulsed like veins, and at the center stood a crystalline structure, larger than the crystal orb they had first encountered. It glowed with a light that seemed alive, vibrant, and welcoming. Elisara's form shimmered beside it. You have passed the test, she said. The tomb has recognized your intent and your understanding. The defenses exist not to destroy, but to ensure that only those worthy may access the heart of our knowledge. You have proven yourselves capable. The team exhaled, relief flooding their bodies. Mira slumped to the floor, exhaustion mixed with awe. We made it. Vera stepped forward, placing her hand on the crystalline structure. This is only the beginning. Elisara, show us what lies ahead. We are ready. The tomb pulsed one final time, the energy harmonizing with Elisara's essence. The team had survived the awakening of the tomb's defenses, and now the secrets at its very heart were theirs to uncover. Yet even in victory, Vera knew the danger had not ended. The tomb was alive, powerful, and intelligent. And the deeper they went, the more they would face tests of courage, wisdom, and humanity itself. The adventure had entered its most perilous stage. The tomb had awakened. And so had the responsibility of carrying the legacy of Elisara and her lost civilization. The legacy of Elisara. The chamber glowed with a soft, blue light as Commander Vera Salin and her team stood before the crystalline heart of the tomb. Their bodies were exhausted, but their minds were alive with knowledge. They had survived the awakening of the tomb's defenses, learned the secrets of Elisara's civilization, and now faced the greatest responsibility of their lives, carrying her legacy forward. Elisara's luminous form shimmered beside them, her violet eyes glowing softly. "You have proven yourselves worthy," she said. "The knowledge of Arcanis is no longer hidden. It is entrusted to you. Use it wisely, for it holds the power to create or destroy." Mira Thal knelt beside the crystalline structure, her hands tracing the flowing patterns of energy. "It's incredible," she whispered. "All of this, their technology, their cities, their energy systems, we can learn so much." Cale Arden studied the devices carefully, still cautious despite the awe he felt. "It's beautiful but dangerous. Even now I feel the energy pulsing, alive. One wrong step, one misuse of this knowledge and it could be catastrophic." Vera placed her hand on the crystal, feeling its heartbeat like pulse. "That's why we must be responsible. Elisara trusted us. Humanity has been given a gift, and it is our duty to protect it and ensure it is used to help, not harm." Elisara's presence brightened slightly. "My civilization fell because we misused knowledge. We sought power without understanding responsibility. I preserved what was essential: wisdom, technology, and the principles that guided us. You now hold that trust." Lyra Voss stepped forward, her historian's mind racing. "We can record everything, share the knowledge carefully, prepare humanity for this, but we must ensure it is not misused. This is more than science, it's a responsibility of the heart." The team spent hours studying the crystalline heart, absorbing its lessons and recording the technology that could revolutionize civilization. They learned to stabilize planetary cores, create self-sustaining cities, and generate limitless clean energy. They saw visions of Arcanis at its peak, golden towers gleaming under twin suns, energy flowing through cities like living rivers, and Elisara guiding her people with wisdom and compassion. Vera felt the weight of the responsibility pressing on her shoulders. "This knowledge, it's incredible. But it's also a test. Humanity must be ready for this. If we fail, it could destroy everything." Elisara's voice was soft but firm. "That is why I have awakened you. Not just to learn but to lead. To carry our knowledge with wisdom. You are the guardians now." Cale looked around at the team. "Guardians, it feels like more than we can handle. But we survived the tomb, the defenses, maybe we can handle this too." Mira smiled faintly. "We've learned to respect the power. We understand responsibility. And Elisara, she is guiding us. We can do this." The chamber pulsed with energy as if responding to their resolve. Elisara's form hovered near the crystalline heart, radiant and serene. "You must leave the tomb now. Carry the knowledge into the world but protect it. Teach only those who are ready. This is your mission as it was mine." Vera turned to her team. "We leave, yes. But we carry more than just technology. We carry hope, responsibility, and the legacy of a civilization that dared to reach for the stars. Humanity can learn if we guide it carefully." The tomb began to shift around them, creating a path back to the entrance. The glowing walls pulsed as if bidding them farewell. Drones and turrets powered down, bowing to their passage. Elisara's whispers filled the chamber one last time. "Go forth. Protect. Guide. Remember Arcanis." As they stepped out into the desert sunlight, the sand glittered like gold under the rising sun. The tomb, once silent and foreboding, now seemed peaceful, its energy settling into a gentle rhythm. The team paused, looking back at the massive stone door. It had been a portal to the past, a guardian of unimaginable knowledge, and a teacher to those who proved worthy. Vera turned to her team. "We've done more than survive. We've been entrusted with a legacy." Elisara's civilization believed in harmony, responsibility, and courage. "We must carry those values into the world." Cale nodded. "It won't be easy. The knowledge is vast. And there will always be those who seek to misuse it." Mira added, "But we have a guide and we've learned to respect the power. Together we can make sure it is used wisely." Lyra looked toward the horizon. "Elisara's story doesn't end here. It continues through us, through humanity. We are the bridge between her world and ours." Vera smiled, her eyes reflecting the sunlight and the weight of the task ahead. "Then we move forward. Not just as explorers but as guardians. The world will change because of what we have learned. And we will ensure it changes for the better." The desert stretched endlessly before them, golden sands and endless skies, a world full of possibilities. The tomb lay behind them, silent but alive, holding the secrets of a civilization that had waited millennia for someone worthy to continue its legacy. As they mounted their vehicles to leave, Vera's thoughts lingered on Elisara. The girl with violet eyes, preserved in stone, had chosen them. She had awakened not just to teach, but to entrust her civilization's wisdom to humanity. And now it was in their hands to protect, guide, and use that knowledge wisely. The team drove into the desert, carrying the knowledge, the responsibility, and the promise of Arcanis. Every mile was a step into a new future, one where humanity could rise above its limitations, guided by the wisdom of a civilization that had reached the stars long before them. And somewhere, deep within the tomb, Elisra's essence rested, watching, guiding, and waiting, her legacy now alive in the hands of those she had chosen. The adventure had ended, but the story, the legacy, and the lessons would continue for generations. The desert wind whispered softly, almost like the voice of Elisra herself, "Remember me. Protect the knowledge. Guide humanity." And with that, the legacy of Elisra and her lost civilization began to shape the future of humanity, one choice, one discovery, and one act of responsibility at a time.